the full test drive of the 2026 Subaru Outback. This is the new generation. It's a boxier design, it's a more rugged, it's a radical departure from the outgoing 2024-2025 Subaru Outbacks, producing 180 horsepower. It's a few horsepower less than the outgoing Outback with a regular 2.5, but it's got more torque. While now the new Outback has the split headlight assembly. It's faster. It has a few pages like widgets, the main widget with your time, date, temperature, and then a few widgets here. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto is available here. So we have 8 virtual gears in the Lineatronic Subaru CVT. So yeah, it's alright. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Roman Rides, and today I'm sharing my review and test drive, like the full test drive of the 2026 Subaru Outback. This is the new generation, so we'll talk about technical specs. Obviously we'll take it for a drive, we'll see how it drives, we'll see how the safety systems actually work, the adaptive cruise control, the new updated eyesight system, and how it stacks up against the outgoing Subaru Outback. You can see a lot of them behind myself. Whether you should stick to your 2024 Subaru Outback, or maybe it makes sense to switch over to the updated 2026. Let's go. All right, so the controversial point of the Subaru Outback 2026 obviously is design, right? So the people complained a lot when Subaru actually revealed this back in April 2025, the new design, and now it became boxier. It became more like Subaru, looking like a Subaru Forester, to be honest. It's a boxier design, it's a more rugged, it's a radical departure from the outgoing 2024-2025 Subaru Outback. Subaru Outback, a previous generation, the previous generation, now it's a previous generation, is based on the Subaru legacy. It's a car-like platform. Even though this is the same platform, it's called Subaru Global Platform, which is scalable, and you can build different vehicles on top of that platform. But definitely this vehicle, the outgoing model, looks like a regular wagon with additional ground clearance, right? So now we're talking about kind of SUV looking, but still the silhouette is present. As you can see, it's not completely boxy as Subaru Forester, for example. So you see the C-pillar is still kind of reminds of the outgoing Outback, right? But everything else is completely different. It's got taller, it's become wider, and it's become a little bit longer. In terms of the wheelbase, interesting enough, the wheelbase remained the same. But it's basically 0.4, 0.5 inches longer, a little bit wider, and 1.4 inches taller for extra headroom, for extra visibility, and yeah, for just basically extra passenger compartment. What about the looks of this vehicle? In terms of the headlights, as you can see, the outgoing Subaru Outback has a traditional headlight assembly, while now the new Outback has the split headlight assembly. As you can see, the main headlight assembly is here in the bumper, basically, and the upper part is the daytime running lights with LED turn signals, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lights, a lot of plastic. But I'd like to say that in person it doesn't look too bad in terms of how much plastic Subaru used here. The plastic part is here, the lower portion of the bumper, the new logo, and that's pretty much it, guys. It is 225 by 60 18-inch wheels, alloy wheels, so it's kind of meaty tires. It's not the largest wheels available, obviously. We're talking about black mirror caps. We're talking about the same body colored door handles. A lot of plastic here, and it's different. The shape of this plastic, if you compare it with the outgoing model, is different. Here is kind of circular. Here is kind of more rectangular, I should say. So definitely a boxier, rugged, more SUV style cues here. So looking at the back part of this vehicle, as you can see, we still have incandescent lights. I'm not sure why, because other than that, everything else is LED. So we have this light bar connecting the two tail lights. We have the Outback script. And I thought that in person it would be too huge, too large. But in person here, in real life, it's not that bad. It's actually very, very nicely done here. Additional Subaru imprint here on the bumper. We have rear parking sensors as a standard equipment here. Exhaust. Single exhaust tip. We have functional vents here. We have light reflectors there, symmetrical all-wheel drive, which means the same length of the drive shaft from the central and rear differential, from the front and rear differential to the wheels. We're talking about the green paint. It's an optional equipment, $395, kind of a floating C-pillar, but it's not a C-pillar. The actual C-pillar is here. So you see this, the texture of this plastic. It differs from the texture on the arches, on the plastic on the arches. Aside from that, we have rear window wiper. We have roof rails and the static load of the roof rails. It's either 200 pounds, the information is really different, or 800 pounds, which is a lot, to be honest. So in terms of the technical specs, it's still 2.5 natural aspirated, a standard engine. It's rated to tow 27, if I'm not mistaken, either 25 or 2,700 pounds. If it's 2.4 turbocharged, then 3,500 pounds. So the engine specs, it is 2.5 natural aspirated. Let me show you the engine specs here and the engine itself. So we'll turn the engine off. The hood now has different form to that. We don't have hood struts, so it's a very familiar solution from Subaru. It's 2.5 natural aspirated, direct injection, opposite 4, so it's a 4-boxer located transversely, as you can see. So it's a famous Subaru Boxer 4-cylinder engine, 2.5. So 2.5 gas engine, pure gas, no mild hybrids, no hybrid, nothing, producing 180 horsepower. It's a few horsepower less than the outgoing Outback with a regular 2.5, but it's got more torque. So it's around 178 pound-feet of torque, which is 241 newton-meters of torque, paired with CVT transmission. A regular CVT would be TR580, or for 2.4 turbocharged would be a Lineatronic TR690. So it's belts and pulleys, so it's a conventional CVT with torque converter, like in regular automatic transmission. And that engine, the more powerful engine, 2.4 turbocharged, produces 260 horsepower, and it's around 250 or 260 pound-feet of torque. I will add precise numbers here. So they are all paired with CVT. But again, the CVT technology has virtual gears, 8 virtual gears, so they're not real gears. It's all about belts and pulleys to actually mimic that of the regular conventional transmission. So as you can see, this is the engine bay, so no changes here, except for a few less of horses under the hood for a base 2.5 engine. The suspension is the same. It is McPherson struts up front. It's independent multi-link suspension in back. It's 18-inch alloy wheels and 225 by 60 tires. So the platform is the same. It's called Subaru Global Platform. And the philosophy behind this new generation is that it's built completely ground up with intention of being a Subaru Forester-like vehicle. So it's not a coincidence that they decided to develop this new generation as a Subaru Forester sibling, like very looking almost exactly like a Subaru Forester. No, that was done intentionally. So obviously they understand that the demand for the legacy, let's say for sedans, for wagons, it's decreasing. It's been decreasing probably for the past few years. So they decided to go with the new generation. It still kind of keeps the silhouette of the wagon, and it's not very tall, to be honest. In person, it's just 1.4 inch taller than the outgoing model. But definitely everything else is slightly larger, like wider, longer, the same wheelbase though. It's still symmetrical all-wheel drive. You don't have like a real center differential. Instead of that, there is on the tail shaft of the transmission of the CVT, there is a center clutch pack, which actually adjusts and regulates how much torque you get to the rear wheels from the engine. But it's mechanical all-wheel drive for sure. This is one of the best, and if not the best solution on the market. So this is still here. It's still unique technology. I wish Subaru had put here a regular automatic transmission to be able to keep up with even more torque and maybe more engine options. But for now, it's just CVT for all Subaru models except for the Subaru BRZ, which can be equipped with 6-speed automatic, actual automatic transmission or 6-speed manual. In terms of lighting, it's LED with projector-style LED lights, LED fog lights, and as I mentioned before. And now let's get into the cabin. Keyless access just for the front doors. So I really like the seats. I have already tested this vehicle. They're super plush, super comfortable. We have adjustable driver seat. Unfortunately, no adjustment for the passenger, so it's power seats for the driver only with lumbar support. All automatic window switches up and down. You don't have to hold them. So this is the base trim, which is called premium, but in reality it's now it's a base. So gone is the real base trim, and now the base trim is this, the premium one. So the steering wheel really looks very similar to the outgoing model. Now as a standard equipment, we have the digital gauge cluster, as you can see. Comes standard on all different models, not the model, the trims. As you can see, you can change the layout slightly. You can have this simplified layout, more simplified layout, and traditional with kind of traditional analog gauges. As you can see, the car is in the center of this display. It shows when I put the brakes, when I press the brake pedal, when I turn the turn signals, when I turn the flashers on, it shows that. The infotainment system is new completely. Gone is that 11.6 Starlink display with vertical orientation. Now we have the landscape, kind of landscape design of the multimedia system. It's faster. It has a few pages like widgets, the main widget with your time, date, temperature, and then a few widgets here. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto is available here on every model. Then you have settings menu, so you can adjust vehicle settings, profile, sound, displays, time and date, and everything else. Super simple, very user-friendly, and very easy to use. Moreover, in terms of ergonomics, you can put your palm here, you can put your hand here, that, and have like kind of like a shelf for your fingers, so that you can operate your other fingers, your pointing fingers, and clicking something, right? So it's easier. So I'm really glad that they put this kind of like a shelf so that it's easier. Again, and nothing can replace physical buttons in terms of infotainment system, but it's better to have these than don't have this at all. Now gone those sensor, like these touch buttons, they were in charge of the climate control. Now the climate control is absolutely physical, fully physical. All the buttons and switches, including heated seats, are physical. It's rotary knobs, as you can see, for the temperature, automatic mode. It's dual zone climate control. No wireless charger for this specific car, as you can see. But if you can pay like extra 200, 300, you can equip the car with wireless charger, 2 cup holders, electronic parking brake, stability control off, start stop defeat button, auto hold, 2 cup holders, and then you have the glove box, regular damp but not felt, and then this kind of mesh style cloth interior insert for the door cards, for the lower dash panel. The seats themselves, it's water repellent. It's not like a leather, it's kind of leatherette, but it's water repellent leatherette. Something similar you can see in the wilderness models. So they're very soft. I'm 6.3. I wish that Subaru had done slightly longer cushion, but still, nonetheless, it is very comfortable in terms of the headroom, in terms of the comfort, the sitting position. I'm very pleased with the new seats, and they have also redone the seats, the mounting points of the seats, so they have completely redone that. So now, and you also have paddle shifters to imitate actual gear shifters. You have automatic high beam and low beam, but unfortunately you don't have rain sensing wipers. It's an extra equipment. So get into the second row, as you can see, no sunshades. It's reserved for higher trims. And this is when, even though the wheelbase is the same, still you have kind of more room, more leg room, more knee room. Yeah, you see, it's definitely a little bit roomier here in back. You don't have heated seats. It's reserved for higher trim, so you have to add it as an option. USB Type A, Type C, map pockets available, no sunroof. Sunroof is another option. And take a look at this door card cubbies. So as you can see, the bottle holders here, they are actually equipped with this, appointed with the felt. As you can see, very, very nice solution. So any bottles, anything like that will not rattle and squeak there. As you can see, same for the front door pocket. Very nice solution. And then the tailgate. So the trunk, obviously power operated, it is standard equipment. And now you can have a lot of tie hooks, a lot of tie down hooks. You can put the back seats down. As you can see, it's almost completely flat floor. It's easy to do. The rear seats can be reclined as well. It's a nice option. The range of reclinement is not a lot, but still you have it. You have spare tire under this floor compartment, so it's good to have the spare tire. Actually, I can show you that. So as you can see, it's there. Spare tire is here. Additional underfloor compartment with the organizer, and then we have huge trunk. And then you can put the cargo cover in few different positions. Very nice, like a hammock style or regular cargo cover. 2 buttons, one close, and secure it with the alarm. In terms of the pricing, the standard price for this base model, which is premium now, they call premium a base model, $34,995, with a few options including color, including auto dimming mirror, footwell lighting, cargo net, LED upgrade rear gate light. We're looking at $37,762, almost $38,000. But don't forget, this car is now manufactured in Japan. If you take a look at the VIN number, the VIN number says JF2BU. So it's imported car. That's why definitely it's got more expensive. So now I think it's time to take it for a drive to see how it drives and compare it with the outgoing model, and then we'll sum it up. Let's go. So we are talking about a regular Subaru Outback Premium, the new generation, which has been controversial in terms of design and overall looks. But today's video is about driving experience. Obviously, I will show you this vehicle from the outside perspective, the cabin, interior, but now we are starting from the driving portion right from the get-go to see how it drives, how it's different from the outgoing model. I actually tested the outgoing model a few months ago. That was the 2.4 turbocharged version. And I'd like to say that right from the beginning, I want to say that even though this SUV, the new Subaru Outback, is based on the same platform, it drives very, very similar to the latest generation of Subaru Forester. So Subaru Forester hasn't changed too much, right, in terms of the boxy design and SUV shape and form, while Outback has been controversial for its radical departure from kind of a wagon, an off-road styled wagon based on the Legacy, the sedan. Though the platform is kind of the same, Subaru global platform, but this one has become taller, slightly wider, slightly longer. In terms of the wheelbase, it is the same. So we have 8 virtual gears in the Lineatronic Subaru CVT. So yeah, it's a regular CVT with belts and pulleys and everything of that kind. But the way it drives, the way it shifts, it kind of mimics the regular conventional torque converter automatic transmission. So instead of revving up all the way to the red zone and then staying there, it's kind of annoying, a driver experience, to be honest. The first cars with CVTs back in 2010, 11, 15, like the first Hondas, Mitsubishis and all of that, and Subaru as well, they all had the same approach, they all had the same technology. But now Nissan and Subaru and others, they kind of switched the approach to the CVT. I wish actually they put a regular automatic transmission here in Subaru, especially if we're talking about pricing. The pricing can be up to $51,000, maybe with optional packages up to $55,000. And talking about $50,000, $55,000, even $40,000, I'd like to have a regular conventional automatic transmission. But that's discussion for a completely different topic. What I'm trying to say is that now the CVT shifts kind of like a regular transmission, trying to mimic these shift points, the upshift points. And this is very interesting, sensation when you're driving, especially when you know that you're driving a CVT-equipped vehicle. Aside from that, in terms of suspension, definitely it has got It has got some, I don't know, maybe components from the Forester, but definitely it feels more softer, more softly sprung compared to the outgoing Subaru Outback. Subaru Outback is based, as I mentioned, on the legacy platform, more like a car-like wagon with additional extra clearance platform, while this one is built from the ground up as basically as an SUV. There is a silhouette of the wagon, still you can see that, but it is very, very tiny. And so basically what we have is a slightly different design of another Forester, right? We have the same engines, we have the same CVT, so the same transmission models for the CVT. We have the steering wheel with dual pinion electric steering assist from the Subaru WRX. It's very vague. There is no like 0 point. You definitely would appreciate that in terms of very relaxed and laid-back driving experience. You don't want to have very agile, very precise steering, right? Because when you sneeze and then you are going into different direction, right? And just in a split second, you don't want that experience in a car like this. So the visibility is just great. It's just a greenhouse right now. Even though we have this smaller window pillar here, it doesn't bother us at all. So in terms of visibility, it is excellent visibility. Subaru has also changed the seats, the front seats, the rear seats, in terms of how they are bolted to the frame. And so they are very comfortable, even though I'm missing, personally, I'm 6.3. No, Subaru. Canceling. Do not listen to me. Subaru is listening to me. So the new infotainment system and all that stuff, it's very interesting, but I was really interested in how the car actually drives and performs and everything like that. It's equipped with the latest eyesight system, which means emergency braking, emergency collision braking, pre-collision warning, pre-collision braking. It can swerve around. It can come to complete stop if you're fainted behind the wheel, if you had a whatever situation, medical situation, whatever you could have. It can actually stop, come to complete stop on the adjacent lane safely. So it monitors the situation in front of the car using cameras and radars. So it's very complicated and very sophisticated system from a Subaru standpoint, even though it's kind of a budget, I don't know, can I say a budget class? Considering the fact that Subaru dropped the base model, which started back in the day from high 29s, 29 and a half. But nonetheless, it's very, very sophisticated, very nicely done. Hands-free driving, kind of hands-free driving. Because the system actually watches you, like whether you're looking at the road. And the conditions are, you have to place your palms, your hands onto the steering wheel, definitely, number one. Number two, you have to watch the road. So if those conditions are met, then we can enable the cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and then you have 3 tiny green lights there, which signify that the radar-equipped cruise control is available and is engaged. And so the car will drive itself, will keep the speed, will center itself in the line. I'd like to try that, but now we have this congestion, so not really sure. In terms of softly sprung suspension, I already talked about that. It's super comfort. It's the noise level, the cabin insulation is decent. I wouldn't say it's super nice. It's definitely a little bit quieter than it was before because they added extra sound deadening all around the car, specifically under the hood, the wheel arches, and a few more places, as well as the top trims. They get not laminated glass, but tempered glass. So tempered glass for extra cabin insulation, which is nice. Yeah, and the ultimate driving experience, it's super plush. It's very softly sprung. It's very relaxed. The steering wheel, everything, you know, it feels super, super user-friendly. I mean, Subaru is very simple in that regard, and I really like that. I really like that. So the brakes, they clamped not immediately, but so you have to press the pedal for, you know, for extra split second in order to clamp it completely. What I'd like to say as well, the graphics, the display graphics is decent. Right now I'm sitting at the traffic light, so you see the brake lights are there. If I turn the turn signals on, the turn signals is displayed there, which is really cool. What else? Physical climate control. Now I have just started, and it was a pre-collision emergency warning. So the car thought that I'm gonna bump into that car in front of me. Obviously I'm not. The guy just slapped at the traffic light, and I tried to accelerate very mildly, and it detected that potential collision. So, you know, all that host of safety systems is very nice. It looks very good in terms of user experience. This green lights and then amber lights and everything like that. And it works great. So I cannot complain about that at all. So very, very user-friendly experience in terms of that. So I always use adaptive cruise control when I drive on the highway, especially in between the cities. So what I'd like to say as well, in terms of acceleration, it's not here at all. It's super sluggish, it's super slow, 2.5 natural aspirated engine. It barely keeps up with traffic. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about like complete lack of acceleration. It's decent for 2.5. It's decent for the increased weight. The curb weight obviously increased like around 100 pounds difference between the previous generation Outback and this one. But now it's much more closer to the Forester. So what's the point to get the Forester? Forester is slightly less expensive. It's a bit shorter. It's also very tall. Kind of like a greenhouse experience driving this car. The visibility is just great. The headroom is enormous. And personally, I would prefer a turbocharged 2.4. If I was in the market for a SUV in this class, and I would be okay with the CVT, which I'm not okay with CVT, like I wish Subaru had a regular transmission, like automatic conventional transmission with torque converter. Yes, it's also got torque converter in its CVT engine, in its CVT assembly, like right between the engine and the CVT itself. But the overall experience, even though we have these fake shifts, upshifts and downshifts, still I would much prefer regular automatic. Aside from that, it's super smooth. Like everything is built around smoothness, refinement of what Subaru does extremely well. The cabin is quiet. There have been a few squeaks, but from what I can see, they're all coming from the passenger seat. So it's all about something that I have here. So basically no extra squeaks and rattles here. The cabin is really quiet. The driving experience is super relaxed, laid back. The seats are super plushy. I really like the seats. Even though the shorter cushion for my longer legs, I'm 6.3 tall, I mentioned 25 times already, but as a regular driving experience, like you're a regular person coming to Subaru Wesley Chapel, huge thanks to Subaru Wesley Chapel, to the staff there for providing me this vehicle for this extended test drive, so I can definitely familiarize myself with this new generation of Subaru Outback, and definitely I like it. I like it. Forget about the looks, forget about the differences. Just take it for a drive and you will notice immediately how different this new generation is compared to the outgoing Subaru Outback. You may like it, you may not like it. Obviously it's to each their own in terms of preference, but I would say that definitely drives very well, very well. But now it's super close to the Forester. So now it's basically whether you'd like to have a Forester or Outback. But the Outback provides the 2.4 turbocharged engine option. So super softly sprung, super comfortable, very quiet, very refined. The tech is working great. The safety suite works extremely well. Physical buttons for climate controls, appreciate that. A lot of space. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the driving portion of this video. Summary, 2026 Subaru Outback. So this is the first time I'm actually driving this vehicle. I had a different video on my second channel, my main channel, like the first review of the Subaru Outback 2026 on my channel. This is the second time I'm meeting this new model. First time was just a regular review. Now I have driven this vehicle. What I'd like to say after test driving this vehicle, first of all, 2.5 is super lethargic. It's really slow. Definitely, we're talking about 0 to 60 time in actually, I watched another video about 0 to 60 and probably was like close to 9.59 seconds, something like that, the best one. But I'm used to seeing 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So people from Canada will understand me in other European countries. So 0 to 100 would be realistically like 10.5 seconds, something like that. So again, we're not talking about speed performance. Buying this vehicle, you're just buying it because it's super reliable. Hopefully, because there have been some issues with CVT transmissions in the past, specifically with TR 580 and 690, but overall driving experience, it's super relaxed, laid back. You just drive, but you have to put your hands on the steering wheel. The new system can actually track that you take a look at the road, that you actually watching the road. If you don't watch the road, then there will be a few notifications, a few sound buzzers, and then the car will hit the brakes slightly to kind of wake you up in terms of you, for example, in case if you fainted or whatever can happen. So the safety suite is really sophisticated. It works just great, and I really like the lane centering assist, the blind spot monitoring zone, the pre-collision warning, and so in that regard, Subaru has done really good job, and they've been doing it since many years ago. They have been refining that, so it works just great, no problem there. In terms of suspension, super softly sprung. It's very soft. It's very similar to Subaru Forester, but the Forester, from my perspective, Forester, if we're talking about 10 out of 10 in terms of how soft the suspension is, Forester would be 10 out of 10 for sure. It's super softly sprung. It's like a lanyard. It's a very refined vehicle in terms of driving over road imperfections, potholes, everything like that. So Subaru is Forester is very softly sprung. So very, wishy-washy. It leans to the left, to the right. And this, unfortunately, for some of you, probably has become very similar to Forester. So it's like 9.5 out of 10 in terms of softness of the suspension. They have revised the suspension because the curb weight increased because of extra additional body dimensions that increase in terms of length and width and how tall the height, how tall this vehicle is. And I'd like to say that it's super comfortable. It's quiet, no squeaks and rattles aside from my stuff on the passenger side. It doesn't provoke you to drive aggressively. It just, you just drive. It's super solid driving experience without any gimmicks. The screens, yes, they're a bit larger now, but I really like that it's not super bright. You can dim it out, dim up, dim down. So overall driving experience, I really liked it. The design, it's controversial, yeah. So I think that a lot of people, they will find it maybe ugly, maybe radical departure. I don't know how to describe that. But again, I really like the physical control buttons for the climate control. Very comfortable seats, front and rear. Huge trunk, and overall I'm very pleased on how it drives in real life, guys. I'm not talking about looks, just take a look, but really when you buy it, it should be problem-free. And yeah, that's just my 2 cents, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, please support this channel, and I hope to see you soon. A new video every week. So yeah, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.